For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right. Good afternoon, everyone out there across the driving fruited plains of Long Island. Welcome to Crash Course Radio, the one and only, the first of its kind, the one of only, blazing new trails, setting the pace for the auto body industry, the privately owned and operated auto body industry here across Long Island. Welcome, everyone, to Crash Course Radio. I am your humble host, of course, Peter Crouch. Hey, we've been at this for a little over a year now, and we plan to be here through just about all of this year, all right? And then plan on that beyond that, too. So a lot of good stuff always happening here at Crash Course Radio. If you've been following us and listening to us, thank you very much for your support. Appreciate it. Please continue to spread the word, all right? We are doing great things here, all right? An example of doing great stuff is Patricia from Centeridge, all right? Your humble host here was away on vacation, but never too far away that I can't assist our customers, all right, as well as our client businesses. Patricia had a little bit of an incident with a tree, all right, and apparently she needed some help, so she had heard on the Crash Course Radio program about Collision Services Network, and she contacted me, and we set her up with one of our network body shop partners, and she's been taken care of professionally, and everything's going great. All right, so that's a real-life example right there, folks, about how we're helping people, touching everybody's lives when it comes to the wonderful world of insurance, filing insurance claims, auto body, personal injury attorneys, insurance as a product and a service in itself. All right, so Crash Course Radio, the one of the kind. All right, we were the first ones. Nobody's ever done this before. All right, we started blazing this trail a little over a year ago, as I said when I came on the air. All right, and it's great. It's great because I get to talk to you folks. I get to get behind this mic every Tuesday afternoon. All right, and I get to reach out and talk to you folks out there, as well as support and promote the privately owned, operated auto body industry, which that's part of our mission statement. But most significantly is we're reaching the folks. All right, and that's good. That's good for me, good for you. Right? It's good for everybody because before Collision Services Network, before Crash Course Radio, it's very difficult to get unfiltered, unbiased information, folks. All right, I spent almost 30 years in that industry, the insurance, and pretty much the only time you were going to find out about what you knew or didn't know is when you had to file a claim, right? And then that source of information is going to be what? At the point of the spear, it's going to be the insurance company, insurance adjuster, the claims handler. All right, and then on the auto body side, well, forget it. That's a nightmare all in and of itself, right? I mean, if you've never been in an accident, now you're scratching your head going, oh my God, where do I got to go? Who's going to fix my car? We've spoken about this on my program before about where, auto repair, right? Mechanical is a need to, right? And auto body is an as needed, right? So what that means is basically nobody really thinks about it until it happens, right? Bam, you're in an accident. Now it's like, oh my God, where am I going to go? I don't know anything about auto body. I never thought I was going to be that guy. All right. So where do you go, right? So Crash Course Radio Collision Service Network, we're filling that gap. All right. We're helping people. We're bridging the gap. We're giving people unbiased, unfiltered information, all right, that you need and can use, all right, and advice you can trust, all right? And that's been our mantra since we've come on the air. If you've been listening to us, you know that's very true, all right? And getting back to the problem, though, right, prior to this, right, if you were that guy, right, that person, you're scratching your head going, oh, I just got in an accident, damn. what am I going to do here? I don't know. I know Ricky's Auto Repair. I've been bringing my car to Ricky's for years. My whole family has. We get our brakes done, our oil change, but nobody knows anybody, right, when it comes to auto body, because you're always thinking you're not going to be that guy. I'm not going to get in an accident, and then you do, right? And then it's push the panic button, scratch your head. Now, unfortunately, today, as we've spoken about at great length here, the insurance industry is capitalized on, right? They capitalize on ignorance, folks. So we don't want you to be ignorant, and that's why you listen to this show, Crash Course Radio, so you're not ignorant. In fact, we have some of the smartest listeners out there, all right? And they just get smarter every time they listen to me here every Tuesday afternoon. All right, so the insurance industry takes advantage of ignorance. Okay, they take advantage of ignorance, and they capitalize on that. And they capitalized in a big way starting about 20 years ago with this direct repair program. All right, so you come along, bam, you get in an accident, you're scratching your head. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Well, we got to report it to the insurance. We're involved with another driver. I got to make the report. I don't know where we're going to get it fixed. I guess we'll ask Uncle Louie or something, or Tricky Dick around the corner. Maybe he's got a guy in his back pocket. Then you get on the phone with the insurance guy, and he says, "Hey, we got a guy. Oh, that's great. You guys have it all figured out." They got it all figured out, and actually, they don't. They have it figured out for them, not for you. Right? So we've been talking about that here for quite a while. All right. And so the insurance company, that's what they do, right? They're if you're gonna be that guy or that woman, you've never been involved before, they're gonna be your friend, right? They're gonna turn around and say, "Hold my hand, I'm gonna take you for a walk and everything's gonna be great." Not exactly. All right. They're a business, folks. All right. I've spoken about that at length here. Nothing wrong with that, right? They're a business like any other business. And what do most businesses do? They look to drive down expenses and increase profit margins, right? Well, insurance company does that amazingly. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. All right. And they're always looking for ways to, reinvent themselves. And this direct repair program stuff was a big move for them. All right. I was in the industry when this became an epiphany. All right. Prior to that, it was like a cardinal sin. If you ever even had to suggest that you were going to recommend the shop, forget it. So they jumped on the bandwagon, and they saw decades ago, they said, well, wait a minute. Why are we running away from this? We should be running toward it. We can control the claim, control the cost, right? And control the process. And so that's why they went ahead with these programs. But for the most part, they're not good at all right? They're very detrimental to the consumer, and they're very destructive to the industry, all right? They cut. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I'll talk about that in more detail. What they do to the industry. As far as the consumer, you and I, all right. They do not provide a great service, right? Because what are they doing? They're telling you to go get your car repaired at one of their facilities. So right away, a red flag should go off on everybody's head when you hear that, right? And I've spoken about that. All right. If you guys have been listening to me out there and following us, you know the answer to that. All right. You know what I always say? You got to be honest with yourself. You got to ask yourself that big question. All right. You got to look in the mirror and be a big boy and girl and say, okay, I'm going to go to the insurance company shop. If I get into a scrap or something doesn't go right, or the paint falls off the car, or the bumper falls off while I'm driving down the highway, or I don't know, I just don't like the way it looks. Are they going to get in the trenches with me? Are they going to advocate for me? Are they going to look out for my interests? I don't know. I personally, I don't think so. Professionally, it's a crapshoot. All right, and I'm speaking from, like I said, professionally, right, from what I saw out there. All right, and most of the time, folks, when they get involved with this, all right, pay attention. Most of the time, if there's an issue at these direct repair shops and they get involved, it's because they're compelled to get involved. All right, now think about that. They're compelled. All right, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing this for a virtuous reason, right, or that they want to really make sure that you're a customer next time. No, a lot of them could care less, because you know what? You were sent there. They didn't earn your business. It wasn't like your brother-in-law had his car fixed there, or your sister had a car fixed there. Your insurance company said, go there. They've agreed to our repair criteria. They're great. They're going to fix your car. Well, now there's a problem. Guess what? The insurance company is going to compel them to fix the problem. They're going to compel them to figure out what the problem is and fix it, or make an attempt. All right? So, again, all of these pitfalls are all very, very bad. Good for the insurance company, not good for you and I. All right, and that's why you stay clear of those, as well as the other problem, which of course is what? The photos, folks. I can't. This is, it's funny. I didn't want to come on the air and go right off on a tangent on this. I wanted to save this for later in another segment, but this is just. I had to come right out with this because it's still a growing problem. I can't emphasize this enough, folks. you got to stop with the photos. Everybody loves their little phones and taking pictures and photos. That's great. You want to take pictures for your lawyer if you're injured, or you think the guy's, going to be a bad guy or a bad girl and they're not going to play ball. All right, take pictures, but don't send them anywhere. Folks, as soon as you send those photos somewhere, you've just volunteered your privacy. You've just turned over your privacy and your rights to a third party. All right? Don't do it. You don't have to do it. I've spoken about that. There's nothing in the insurance policy. In fact, what's in the insurance policy is exactly the opposite. It forces them to go to see your car where and when you want it, not when they want and how they want. All right? So no to photos. Remember we were doing the Nancy Reagan thing? We resurrected that? Just say no? All right, so got off to a little bit of a firecracker start there. All right, we're going to talk about some technology issues. We'll have a question of the day, see if we have any smart listeners out there today. See you in a little bit. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the most amazing show on the air here across the fruited plain of Long Island. That is Crash Course Radio, of course, the one and only, the first of its kind. Nobody else ever done this before. All right, just us, just blazing a trail, little old me, and Collision Services Network. Hello again, my name is Peter Crouch, and I am your humble host here at Crash Course Radio. We are live in the studio, right, and it's every Tuesday afternoon I get to go behind this mic and talk to the folks out there, all right, and we are totally psyched on doing it. And in just a moment, I'll give you a number here. And if you want to be part of the show, if you want to add to the show, all right, if you have a comment, all right, an issue, a problem, an idea, a difference of opinion, all right, then we want to hear from you. 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039 brings you into the amazing studio here at 103.9 Long Island Islip Airport, and you get to talk to little old me. All right, so got off to kind of a firecracker start there. I apologize. I just, it's been a while. Was away on vacation and then got laid up a little bit. Remember, if you were listening to the program back in August, I had a little bit of a motor vehicle accident myself, so I just got out of surgery for that. So all kinds of fun stuff, folks. Not fun, right? We all know it. If you've been involved in that, you know that that's not fun at all. All right, so before we get going here with this segment, let's continue with our question of the day here. All right, let's see if we can get some really smart listeners to call in and give us an answer. All right, so here's the question of the day. Let's see if we're going to get somebody who's listening out there to give us an answer. My insurance company stated their shops have agreed to their repair criteria, and that benefits me. Is this true? All right, so the insurance company guy tells you on the phone, hey, you really ought to be getting your car fixed over at one of our body shops because they've agreed to all of our repair criteria, and that really benefits you. Is that true? All right, I know what the answer is, and there's a definitive answer to that. All right, there's really not a lot of black and white area there. Some people might think there is, but there isn't. All right, so 631-451-1039. Come on, I want to hear from somebody out there. 631-451-1039. Let's hear an answer. My insurance company is telling me that I should go to their body shop because they agreed to their repair criteria. All right, repair criteria, and that benefits me. Is that true? All right, we've talked about a lot of different things here in Crash Course Radio, so I know I got the smartest listeners out there. So give us a shout, 631-451-1039. I started to say at the end of the last segment that we were going to talk about technology today, so I'm going to dive right into that. And what I mean by technology, first off, you know what? Let's circle back. There's an oldie but a goodie, circle back. I remember that one. We had to hear that for a year. But all seriousness, as I said earlier, so if you're just stopping by today, you just turn in the dial and you're hearing my voice, you're like, who the heck is this guy? Well, welcome to the show. Stick around. I'm sure you'll be scratching your head and walking away saying, wow, I didn't know that. I never realized that. All right. So as I said earlier, I am Peter Crouch, the owner and founder of Collision Services Network. Go to collisionservicenetwork.com, please, and get familiar with us there. We have our network of amazing auto body and collision services professionals there. We also have a network of personal injury attorneys, as well as an amazing and very, very professional independent insurance broker. All right, so go check us out there. There's a whole treasure trove of other stuff there. There's a blog there where I try and update that on a monthly basis. Hey, if you're having problems with that, I apologize. Okay, we did contract with a new technology company, and they're doing phenomenal stuff with the webpage. All right, so it's going to be really great. It's going to be totally interactive, and there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening there. You're going to be able to get in touch with us directly. If you want to send us photos for us to look at your car or look at something on the car, we're going to be able to do that. All right, and a lot of more interaction available at the webpage. Right, collisionservicenetwork.com. So go check that out. Get familiar with that. And also, of course, we're on Instagram. We are also on Facebook, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. All right, Spotify is really coming along great. We're developing that at an incredible pace. All right, so if podcasting is your thing, go there and check me out. All right, YouTube channel, we got some funny stuff going on there as well. And Instagram, folks, Instagram, please, if you're not an Instagram person, or you are, then find us on Instagram and start following me. All right, that's a really cool venue for me. I do a lot of videos there where I can talk directly to the folks, and you get to see me. Don't worry, I'm not as scary as you might think I am. And I get to do a lot of videos and talk to you guys directly, especially if something came up or something going on. I need to get that out. We're doing a little quick tip type of deal, right? So I try and give a little quick tip on body shop issues, insurance issues, and things like that. All right, so check us out there. So when I came on the air, I was talking about a lot of stuff, right? The DRP and the evolution of Crash Course Radio, and how we're able to talk to the folks and educate everybody, and that's really great because prior to that, there really wasn't a lot of good sources of information when it came to this industry, insurance industry, and the auto body industry. All right, so Crash Course Radio, we're changing all that, right? And we're changing that for the good. All right, and of course, we're promoting and supporting the privately owned and operated auto body guys. All right, these are guys that are not affiliated with insurance companies or otherwise, and they're there strictly for the consumer, for you. Right, they're going to look out for your interests, all right, not the interests of the insurance companies. All right, insurance companies, what can I say? Right, we're not here to vilify them. All right, let's get that clear. All right, they have a role to play. All right, it's an important role, but we feel here at Collision Service Network, our opinion is that role should be very diminished. All right, they should stick to insurance. That's what they're supposedly good at, right? They are. Right, so I like to say jokingly, you wouldn't go to a foot doctor if you had a heart problem, right? It's funny, it's cliche, I know, but it does make a lot of sense. All right, so insurance guys should stick to insurance stuff, and then the auto body guys should stick to the auto body stuff. The insurance company wants you to take your car to their sponsored shop, all right, their body shop, all right, to save them money. The insurance company has a contract with their sponsored shop, which encourages them to save money by cutting costs. All right, that often results in the use of substandard parts, cutting corners on repair procedures, no color matching, repairing instead of replacement of some parts to save time and money. All right, we believe, remember, folks, they're a business. All right, so they're going to utilize everything that they have to keep operating expenses down and increase profit margins. All right, Collision Services Network believes that the insurance company-sponsored or direct repair programs are damaging to the collision industry and the consumer. All right, they operate as a de facto monopoly. At least on Long Island, they do. I can't speak for everywhere else in the country, but please, when you have dozens and dozens and dozens of these shops all claiming to be DRPs or direct repair program shops, that's kind of a monopolizing a relatively small industry. All right. So that's what we mean by, a de facto monopoly. Undercutting fair market competition, right? Very bad for the consumer there. Driving down wages, limits customer choice, and perpetuates poor service and quality workmanship, potentially jeopardizing consumer safety. All right, check out what happened in Texas when an insurance company-sponsored shop cut corners on repairs. Now, I've mentioned this before in the past. You can Google this. This is real. This happened. All right, didn't make this up. The result was a devastating car accident which left the vehicle occupants horribly burned. Having a car accident is no joke, and where you get your car repaired shouldn't be either. Point blank, folks. You should be as serious, especially today. All right? Gone are the years where, you could bring it around back to, the back of the grease monkey shop and say, hey, what's up there, Dave? We're going to sling a little plastic on the weekend here, get some of these dents out, use the cheese grate. Folks, those days, it's funny, but those days are over. All right, and we should be as serious about who and where we get our vehicle's body work done as we are about who and where we get our repair work done, mechanical repair. All right, you really need to consider this, and that's where Collision Service Network, all right, is filling the void. The insurance company cannot make you have your car repaired at their body shop, right? We spoke about this. They cannot force you to have your car inspected at their location. You have the right to have your car inspected and repaired at a location and time of your choosing, right? There is nothing in the insurance policy which states you must comply with this, folks. All right? When it comes to getting your car repaired and inspected. There's simply nothing there. All right? Anything that they tell you or spin at you, it's all made up. It's all hyperbole. It's all things that they've... Now, when I say made up, it's real, okay? But it's a business process. It's a business process that they've adopted, right? And each company is gonna tweak that a little bit, all right? But this is not found in the regulation, and it's not found in your insurance policy. The insurance companies do one thing very well, right? They look for ways to cut costs where, when, and often, and this starts the second you file your claim. Okay? Second you file your claim, folks. All right, so we didn't get any calls there on that segment. We're going to a break here on the third segment. I want to hear from somebody, 631-451-1039. Listen, Christmas might be over, but we're always into giving free stuff here. All right, so let's hear from somebody. I'll see you guys in a little bit. For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Well, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio. I am Peter Crouch, your humble host, the owner and founder of CollisionServiceNetwork.com. All right, CollisionServiceNetwork.com. We are here to help you, the folks, all right, when you need help with things like finding an auto body shop that's going to work for you and not the insurance guys. All right, if you need a personal injury lawyer, all right, well, we got that too. And, of course, what do we like to say here all the time? You should be shopping your insurance. Right, you should be doing that twice a year, folks. Remember I talked about that? All right, and you can do that with our friends over at DKM Risk Management. All right, they're up in Hauppauge. You can call Lisa and her team, and they will be more than happy to help you out with that. All right, you should be checking your insurance policies at least twice a year, all right, every 6 months. All right, you want to make sure that you're being covered for what you need to be covered for, and you have the right amount of coverage, and you're paying the right price. All right, and there's quite a big leeway there with that. All right, a lot of flexibility in there. A lot of people aren't paying for what they really need, and what they're paying for isn't what they're required to have. Right, so you could be paying a lot of money for something, and then necessarily really have the coverage that you need. All right, so give Lisa and the gang a call up there. All right, and they'll be able to help you out. So that's what we do here, right? We've been doing it for over a year, and we're going to continue to do it, all right? Crash Course Radio, reaching out to the folks, helping the folks, all right? And if you want to be part of the show, 631-451-1039. Question of the day, my insurance company stated to me that their body shops have agreed to their repair criteria, and that benefits me. All right, is this true? All right, let's hear from somebody, all right? Whoever calls in today, we're going to give you some nice primos and some gifts. I think we have Jeff on the line from Deer Park. Jeff, welcome to Crash Course Radio.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff. You're on the air with Peter Crouch and Crash Course Radio. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I actually have a question for you.
Go ahead.
How important is it for the consumer to know if the shop they're using is a certified shop, meaning they're a PPG shop? Are they certified by PPG? PPG is going to stand behind the paint job if it fails. Many shops are certified. Not everyone is certified by their paint supplier. So how is it important to know that?
Wow. All right, Jeff, that's a great question. Folks, see, this is what we get. We have the smartest listeners on Crash Course Radio. Jeff, that's a great question. I'm gonna separate that into two issues, all right? So when it comes to paint, all right, you're kind of almost there, all right? The depending on the paint company that they use. All right, I work over at V&J. All right, so we use PPG. All right, so if I'm using PPG, all right, so as a customer, all right, using that paint, then the paint manufacturer, all right, by extension, all right, extends a warranty. So in other words, if I spray that paint on a customer's car and there's a dieback or there's a problem with the paint, I'm not talking about a physical problem with the paint, like if we're talking about solvent popping or we're talking about dirt in the paint, the denibbing. We're talking about a problem with the physical properties of the paint, all right? Then that paint manufacturer will send out a representative, and they will look at the car. They will examine the paint. They will examine the process that we use to mix the paint. All that will be looked at, okay? And if it's determined that it is the fault of the manufacturer, then we get backed up, all right? We get compensated for that, and of course, then we take care of the customer. So that's what you're talking about with paint. Are you talking about an extension by warranty or by contract? All right, sometimes you might have a contract with your paint distributor, and by extension through whatever paint you're using, if you're using Sikkens or PPG or DuPont or something like that. Then if there's a paint problem with the physical properties of the paint, then yes. Now, Jeff touched on a very important issue, though, the certification. All right, Jeff? A certified shop today is very important. All right, now there's going to be differences of opinion out there, and that's going to vary based on, the shop's capabilities and things like that. And I get that. I work at V&J Auto Body, right? I disclose that all the time, right? We are a very large production-oriented facility. What I mean by production is we have a large volume of cars that come through that shop every day. All right, we're Tesla approved. We do very high-end work. We work on structural aluminum. All right, so we have certifications across the board. All right, now what does certification mean? When Jeff said, is it a certified shop? What he's asking is that shop capable, all right, of working on, all right, and when we mean by working, when we say working in the body industry, we mean repairing as well as replacing parts, components, all right, whether that be, doors or suspension assemblies or structural. So is that shop, are they going to be capable of handling a specific car, right? So today we have cars like Tesla, all right, we have hybrid cars, we have cars like the Cadillac CT6 that are all aluminum, all right? And if you're not certified and you're going to strike out like the pioneers did, all right, on the frontier, all right, listen, it might be exciting, but it may not work out too well for you in the end, all right? So Jeff's question is well placed. Jeff, it was a great question. Thank you very much.
I just want to ask one.
Yeah, go ahead.
One other thing, Mitchell. One other thing. Anybody working out of a warehouse, a shop, his garage, can go over to Kemperley and buy a gallon of DBC, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right, and say, hey, I'm using PPG. I'm using PPG Clear. I'm using the primer. But he's not certified by PPG. He didn't go to PPG training.
Correct.
Get certified.
Correct.
He doesn't have a mixing bank. Anybody can go over and buy paint.
Pretty much. You're right. So in other words, if you got like a guy operating out of his garage, all right, let's say a guy just starting out, he's operating, behind a warehouse in a facility or something like that, and he tells this guy, hey, run down the block and get us some of these, paint thinners and get us some of these accelerators and get me a gallon of this color. You're right. And they're going to sell it to him. Now, the problem with that is what Jeff is getting at again is now he sprays your car. He doesn't know how that paint reacts. He doesn't know how Sikkens reacts on a Mercedes versus a Chevy. He doesn't know how it reacts on an aluminum panel versus a steel panel. Right? He doesn't know if he sprays a clear coat or a 3-stage on there or a pearl coat. All right, so Jeff's right. All right, those are the two separate issues there, right? You have a paint process, okay, and yes, you're certified in the sense that the manufacturer of the paint will usually require that the painter, all right, in the shop, at least the painter, you would hope the painter, but most likely the owner or one of the owners and the painters, all right, they're familiarized with the process, with the manufacturer's process. And every manufacturer has a slightly different process. And you need to familiarize yourself with that, whether it's the mixing room, how the paints are mixed, how they're stored, all right, how they're applied in the gun, the amount of air pressure that you need to be using to apply the paint. These are all different things. So, Jeff's very good question, Jeff. And the certification process, folks, we stress that here. All right, and again, there's going to be a mix of opinions out there. Some of it, unfortunately, has to do with the status quo. Guys just can't make the capital investment, and I get that. I get it. All right, there's a lot of money involved in getting these certifications. A lot of equipment, very expensive equipment that going through the certification process you're required to purchase and be qualified on, and be able to utilize it, obviously. But I feel, as a Collision Services Network opinion is that the certification process is inherently a very good thing for the consumer, all right, as well as the industry. All right, so in that light, I think it is very significant, Jeff, that a shop be certified. All right, whether it's a manufacturer certification, like if you're certified by Mercedes, all right, to work on their structural aluminum cars, or whether it's just a general certification, like being certified to work on Hyundais or GM products. Either way, all right, these are very beneficial to the consumer, right? Because that signals to you as the consumer, hey, the body shop at least cares enough to want to be in the loop on new things that are coming. And new things are coming very quickly in our industry these days, folks. Instead of decades, we're talking about months now. All right, and within a year, we can see monumental changes. All right, both in structural repairing, technology packages, very complex systems going into these cars, and very complex processes. So, so you definitely want to make sure that your shop is a certified shop. If they're not certified, hey, just pick their brain a little bit. All right, say, all right, I get it, man. Maybe you're not in a position to make that kind of investment, but what are your qualifications? How can I be assured, all right, that my car, that your paint is going to know how to apply the paint that you're painting, and that you're actually qualified to touch my car. All right, and if you go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com, we take all that worry right out of it for you. All right, so thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate that feedback. And folks, we're going to be right back, I think, for the final segment. I can't believe it. All right, I promise we're going to touch on some technology, and I will get to that. We'll jump right into it when we come off the break. Here we go. Final segment, Crash Course Radio. I tell you, time flies when you're having a blast, and that's what we do here at Crash Course Radio. We have fun, and we learn a lot of cool stuff that can help you out. All right, 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039 takes you into the studio here to talk to little old me. We still have that question outstanding out there. My insurance company stated their shops have agreed to their repair criteria, they being the insurance guys, and they're telling me that benefits me. Is that true? All right. Somebody give us a call, give me an answer to that, and we're gonna get you out some really cool stuff. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to our teammates out there, V&J Auto Body in Southampton, 60 Windmill Lane, Southampton. If you're living out in those parts and you drive a Tesla, please get familiar with the folks out there. All right, get familiar with our team out there. All right, is a satellite office of V&J Auto Body. All right, so stop by and say hello. All right, and check them out over there, 60 Windmill Lane, Southampton, V&J East. Okay, and we'll take care of any car, but if you drive a Tesla in particular, stop and say hello, get familiar with the folks out there. I want to give a shout out to our friends at Thriftway Auto Body in beautiful downtown Lindenhurst Village. All right, and you can find those guys over there in Auburn Street, Steve and the gang. Steve, thank you very much for supporting Collision Service Network, as well as Crash Course Radio. Steve and the folks over there, what can I say? Consummate family business. All right, small, professional, clean. I just love the shop. I love going there. I mean, it's a great presentation. It's a warm, welcoming environment when you walk in. Steve's a great guy, consummate professional. He's going to definitely look out for your interests and not the interests of the insurance company, right? So give those guys a call over there. All right, you can go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com to get more specific details on Thriftway Auto Body in Lindenhurst Village. All right, so if you're living in that neck of the woods, all right, you know what you got to do if you need that kind of help. Give those guys a call. Thanks a lot, Steve. Hey, and Jeff, once again, thank you very much for that very informative call. All right, appreciate your support, appreciate you listening. All right, please continue to do so. Folks, let's get to it. All right, we're going to touch on a little technology. What do I mean by technology? Well, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I had a little bit of an incident at my shop, all right? And this is always a a stickler point in our industry. People come in, they have damage on their car, and I don't know what the psychology part is. Maybe somebody can call into the show one day and talk to me about that. But, they'll have damage on their car, and then you'll give them a price, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't think it was going to be that much money. I just figured it was, a couple bucks. And I always scratch my head, and I'm like, okay, but do you work in the industry? Like, how would you think it was going to be a couple? I mean, based on what? I always find that to be such an intriguing point. When you go out and you talk to people, customers. Listen, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the opportunity to inform and educate everybody. And 9 times out of 10, it's great. It's a great experience for both of us. A great interaction. And once you educate people and they get an understanding of what, why, and how, then it brings perspective to the price. And there's, usually a close on a deal, close on a job, right? Usually. That brings me to my point of contention here today for why I wanted to touch on technology. Had a customer come to us with a Tesla, brand new Tesla, 22 Tesla Model S. Okay, it's an all aluminum car for folks that aren't that familiar with the brand. And when I say all aluminum, I mean the structure, the outer panels, the inner panels, and the structure are aluminum. There's nothing on this car that is steel. It's all aluminum. Okay, so he had a little run-in with a pole or a tree or something. I don't know, and the door was terribly crushed on the bottom. Aluminum door, expensive door, $1,900 for the door, but it was aluminum, crushed. I mean, on top, not as bad. The mirror was destroyed. You need a mirror. 3-stage pearl, beautiful white paint. You folks have seen it everywhere. It's beautiful paint. Sun hits it. You need sunglasses to look at it. At any rate, I proceeded to explain to him that we were certified Tesla shop and what was involved and, why we needed to replace the door. And I don't know, for whatever reason, he didn't understand why, we needed to throw a $2,000 door on. He just thought I was going to take the door off and bang it out. He kept telling me, well, you can just bang it out. I tried to explain to him that you can't do that with aluminum. And this goes to my earlier point about how I get intrigued with people. Folks, so let me just educate everybody out there. Aluminum, okay? Yes, it is a metal, but it acts very differently than steel, okay? And listen, I didn't do terribly good in chemistry. I think I barely got through. I think I got a C or something. So I'm not gonna sit here and try and profess that I'm some kind of chemist or metallurgist or something. But I can tell you this because I work in the shop and I've been around this stuff long enough, and we are a certified facility. Aluminum has properties that steel doesn't, obviously, right? We all know that. Aluminum, okay, when you disrupt the molecular structure, all right, what do I mean by that? You put a dent in it, okay? That's pretty disruptive, right? So from a smooth panel to a dented panel. Unlike steel, I can't really heat that and work with that. I can't hammer and dolly it. I can't really pull it. Okay, once you change the molecular alignment in there with aluminum, that's it. Okay, aluminum gets very brittle when you heat it. All right, so understand that there's a very, very narrow window of opportunity when it comes to repairing versus replacing with repairing versus aluminum and steel. Steel, you have a lot more latitude. Okay, you can apply heat, you can pull it, you can hammer and dolly it, you can push it out, pull it out, punch it in. Not so with aluminum. All right. You have a very, very narrow window of opportunity, a very, very limited range of repairability with aluminum. So certainly when you're dealing with a door, which is a big panel, right, a heavy, big panel, if the frame of the door is crushed, right, there's really nothing you can do there. You'll never be able to restore the integrity of that panel with aluminum, okay, because of the way aluminum reacts to heat, right? It gets very brittle. Right, you can use heat very, very, very minimally. All right, and if you try and pull it, it's the same thing. Aluminum is very strong structurally, right, relative to the gauge of the metal. That's why they use aluminum everywhere today. Reduce the weight, increase fuel efficiency, but maintain the strength. Right, it's brilliant. The only problem is you can't really fix that. Right, there's not a lot of metal there to work with. Okay, so. Again, so when you have an aluminum panel, just bear in mind, understand what's going on here. All right, aluminum and steel are made differently, two different properties, and they react differently to heat, to reforming, all right, to reshaping, stuff like that. All right, so hopefully I just cleared the air a little bit on that for you folks out there with regard to aluminum, metal, and steel and stuff like that. It's just frustrating from the auto body side because I know people look at that and they go, wow, I don't understand. It's just a dent. You know, you pull it out. Listen, I'd love to pull it out. Okay, a lot of times it's a lot easier both for the customer and for the shop, all right, to repair something versus replace it, all right? Let's face it, we're keeping the original part. But, you know, today you have to take a very close look at what you're dealing with, right? You have boron out there, which is a whole different alloy altogether. It's a mix of alloys. You can't even call it steel or aluminum. It's something that came right out of the space program. All right, and this is another reason why you need to be going to collisionservicenetwork.com, folks, is why you need to make sure that the body shop that you choose is a shop that's proficient in all of these different areas. It's a very complicated industry today. All right, different materials. You could have upwards of 5, 6, 7, 8 different materials in the car, different technology packages. All right, we've spoken about this, suspension. So go to collisionservicenetwork.com and make sure you're familiar with us. So if you need to have that need fulfilled, if you need a body shop, then you know you're going to pick one of our guys off our network. And these folks are trained, all right? Their people are trained, their techs are trained. A lot of them are certified across the board with different manufacturer certifications, all right? So you're going to be well taken care of both on the insurance side and, of course, on the body shop repairability side, all right? So remember, aluminum, steel, very different. Aluminum, very, very, very little opportunity to repair. Steel, a lot of latitude. Okay? So that's hopefully I cleared the air on that. Hey, folks, you know what we're doing here all the time, right? And this is literal because I'm literally operating with one arm today. I always like to say jokingly, we are frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I love to do it. Every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4 live here on 103.9. Hey, it was good. We had a little fun. We learned something, right? I hope everybody out there had some fun. Be patient with us with the website. It's coming along. All right. And please follow us on Instagram. And if you're a podcast guy, go to Spotify. All right. And keep up with us there, too. All right. I think that's it. I look forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday. All right. Everybody have a good week. Have a safe week. And we'll see you soon.